Hey everyone, Floyd Keys Deluxe V.2 is about to go live and there are a few things that we need to talk about. This is Analog Lab and this is what it looks like from the inside, okay? Here's the full list of the presets that are available as of September 20th, 2024. I will probably add a few more sounds here. This is already more than I envisioned, but I feel like we can add a bit more. We need a few more sounds. And this is Analog Lab Pro, okay? There are a few different tiers of this software. Mine is Pro, which is the full version. So if you get the free version, which is Analog Lab Play, you're probably gonna have this screen and you can browse here the sounds, but you don't have the same amount of access that I have here. I can go into edit presets, look at the splits, customize keyboard settings, add additional effects here. But anyway, this is the full list of sounds, okay? But how do we get here? Let's say you make a purchase or you didn't make a purchase yet. First of all, my store is hosted on gumroad.com. This is the website where I host my store. So if you didn't make a purchase yet, you need to go to gumroad.com and sign up, create your own account. But if you have already made a purchase, you're gonna get to this screen here. This, of course, is my perspective, creator perspective, where I customize everything, create the products. But after you make a purchase, you can go to your library here. So when you go to your library, you're gonna see the products that you bought. These are the products I bought. You click on Floyd Keys Deluxe V.2, you're gonna get to a screen very similar to this one. And here you see everything I wrote. Thank you so much for your purchase. The sound bank will be uploaded by the time this video goes live. Congratulations. Below you'll find blah blah blah. The drawbar cheat sheet is here. That's because many people use many different Hammond plugins. So I use Arturia V version 2, but if you want, you can dial in the same settings on your preferred Hammond clone wheel, okay? Now this is the file that you're looking for to import the sounds. It's a relatively large file. Even compressed, it's 167 megabytes. So you download this, and there are going to be a few more files here, but this is the folder that you are going to get. This is the concept art. Looks great, at least in my opinion. Here you have drawbar cheat sheet, readme, and this full sound bank is the file that you're looking for. It's zipped, and this is the file that is contained inside here. So if you just double click this, it's going to expand and you're going to get this file. You can't simply double click this file to import the sounds, but it's actually very simple. All you have to do is go into Analog Lab, go to this hamburger here. My American student Ben told me that Americans call this hamburger. You click this, import, then you look for the file. It's here, Floyd Keys Deluxe V.2, and it's there. You hit open, boom. It's going to show up in your sound banks on Analog Lab, okay? But let's say you don't have Analog Lab yet. Well, all you have to do is go to the Arturia website. It must be arturia.com. You download the Arturia Software Center, and from the Software Center, you can download Analog Lab. So this is what the Software Center icon looks like. You should download MIDI Control Center and Software Center. This is more if you have a physical Arturia keyboard, such as a Keylab or any controller. This is the Arturia Software Center. If you open it, you're going to see everything that you have available to download. These are the icons for the V Collection instruments. But from the Arturia Software Center, you can download Analog Lab. You can figure this out yourself, right? This is just downloading and activating software. But once you are with Analog Lab, all you have to do is click here, import, find the file, and you're golden, okay? Now regarding the Mainstage concerts. Here we have Mainstage. First of all, Mainstage is a digital audio workstation made by Apple. So this is Mac only, okay? If any of you is a Windows user and you don't have Mainstage, but you bought the Mainstage concerts, contact me as soon as possible, all right? And Mainstage is a paid software, so you can just import Floyd Keys Deluxe within Analog Lab because Analog Lab has a free version. Mainstage isn't a free software, okay? So you need to own Mainstage if you want to access these Mainstage concerts here. All right. This is the main stage concert for The Dark Side of the Moon. I have shown this in my previous video. And this isn't a definitive main stage concert where you can't touch anything and this is holy, right? This is work I made for you in advance, but I highly recommend and encourage that you fiddle with the volumes, you EQ some of the sounds as you see fit, okay? Depending on your rig, depending on your band mix, you may want to EQ some sounds. You can add additional effects. So definitely mess with the sounds, okay? Do things here. Don't treat this as, oh, Allan made everything for me, or expect everything to be 100% ready, okay? Different bands have different dynamics. Different songs have different dynamics. Some are louder, some are quieter, and even different songs have different moments where the music is louder and the music is softer. So balancing volumes is never ending work if you're a keyboardist and you're handling multiple instances of VSTs, okay? Then I'm going to make a separate video, a tutorial of Mainstage for those of you who are not that used to it. There is already one video available, but anyway, this is optimized for 2 keyboards, but if you want, you can go into layout, delete this and have only 1 keyboard. Anyway, but let's say you're gonna use Floyd Keys Deluxe with exactly 261 keys keyboards. If you just connect everything and you don't have exactly the same keyboards as me, it's not gonna work yet. First, you have to go into layout mode here, and then you click the top keyboard, and you're gonna see that this is already assigned to my Keylab Mark 261. So if your controller is plugged into your laptop, you can probably click this and find it. But if not, all you have to do is click assign, press a key on your keyboard, and then it will be automatically assigned. Then you repeat the process for the bottom keyboard, click it, click assign, press a key on your bottom keyboard, unclick assign, and that's it. Make sure to repeat the process for all controls. This is the sustain pedal for the bottom keyboard. Then you click this one, click assign, step on the sustain pedal, deselect assign. This one, assign, step on the pedal for your upper keyboard, deselect it. Okay. This is my panic button here, and this is very important actually, because if by any chance you get a stuck sound, a stuck note where it just keeps playing, you can just hit your panic button and everything will go away. This is especially useful for handling samples, right? Because you trigger a sample, if you want to make it stop, you just hit your panic button and it will stop the sample at once. This is my master volume, so if you want to map this to a fader on your controller, you can just select it, go assign, move the fader, get out of assign mode, and that's it. If it's required, you also need to repeat the process for these as well. This is the mod wheel, bend wheel, mod wheel, bend wheel. Okay, this is the initial setup that you have to do for all concerts. Like I said, I already made all of the sounds. I have been through a serious amount of work preparing these main stage concerts, but please, these are not perfect. You have to put in the work to make them as you see fit, right? Perhaps you want the samples to be on the right, perhaps you want the samples to be on the top keyboard. That is up to you. And you also have the initial setup. How do you do the initial setup? Just come to layout, click the keyboard, assign, press a note. Okay, and repeat the process for all desired controls. If you want, you can either, you can also set up additional controls here. Okay, create a vertical fader, put it here beside the keyboard. Mainstage is wonderful and you can customize the shit out of it. Okay. Now there are 6 Mainstage concerts, 1 for each album as I categorize, and they are here. So if I go into Mainstage concerts in Mainstage V Collection, you're gonna see Dark Side, Animals, The Wall, Wish You Were Here, Early Years and Later Years. Okay. This is before Dark Side. later years is after the wall. Okay. Now, here there are two folders, one with Mainstage V Collection and one with Mainstage Lab. Why is this? So, I own Analog Lab Pro and the entire V Collection. That gives me access to all of these plugins as standalone instruments, okay? I can simply open Mini V4 here and it's going to pop open. If you just have the free version of Analog Lab, you don't have access to each of these individual instruments, okay? So you always have to use Analog Lab. This is the only one that you're gonna have. But Analog Lab is like a central where you can access sounds from any of these instruments. But why did I even go through this? Why did I even leave two different folders? Well, I always prefer using Mini V4, Synthy V, Whirly V3, Farfisa V. These are standalone versions of the plugins, okay? This is just the Mini Moog sound engine. This is just the Wurlitzer sound engine. It's better for me to have these standalone plugins rather than Analog Lab because this saves a lot of CPU power, okay? I'm going to show you again. This MacBook here is an i7 with 16 gigs of RAM. So this is still an Intel processor MacBook. This is getting outdated fast. And here you can see my CPU monitor. And here you can also see my CPU usage. So just to have my Dark Side of the Moon concerts open, I'm not even playing anything. I'm using 23-24% of my CPU just to have everything up and running. Of course, I also have OBS, which is the software that is recording my screen, and it's recording in 4K. So that's also a heavy load on my CPU, and it affects this as well. But the better your CPU is, the better your processor, the more gigs of RAM that you have, the lighter the load it's going to be on your Mac, these concerts, okay? So I recommend that if you want to use Floyd Keys Deluxe with 2 MIDI controllers, using these Mainstage concerts with tons and tons of plugins, I recommend that you get at least an M1 Mac with 32 gigs of RAM, okay? If you have a super budget, definitely get a brand new M3 MacBook with 128 gigs of RAM. That's going to set you up for the next 10, 15 years, okay? Anyway, this is the Dark Side of the Moon Mainstage concerts, and I'm using standalone plugins. If you don't own the entire V Collection and you don't have access to these, you're going to import, let's say you get into this concert, you're going to see a warning sign here, and you're going to see a pop-up message saying missing plugins, something like that, missing instruments. That's because you don't own the V Collection. So you have Mainstage Analog Lab here where you can just go inside and there will be duplicates of these Mainstage concerts, but instead of Stage 73V, it's going to be Analog Lab on every plugin, okay? This means that it's going to have a higher load on your CPU because Analog Lab can access sounds from any of the instruments. It's naturally heavier on your CPU, okay? So to play live, you can customize the Mainstage concerts if you want. If you want to just reorder the sounds, you can just click and drag a song up and down. But let's say you're setting up a Pink Floyd concert, but you're not going to play just Dark Side, not just Wish You Were Here. You want to mix the songs. Because you have, first of all, I just separated within different concerts, and I don't have only one Mainstage concert with all songs because that would absolutely fry my CPU. It would be 300% here if I had all albums in the same Mainstage concert. But if you want to make your own concert, you can go into File and start a new concert and start from scratch. Or you can start from the Mainstage concert where you have the most songs that you're going to play. But how do you add patches? These are called patches, okay? Each instance of a combination of channel strips, this is called a patch. You can have multiple patches for the same song. But if I were to bring, for example, I'm going to bring a Dark Side of the Moon song into my Animals concert. I'm going to bring Great Gig there. You select Great Gig in the Sky, you click this one, and you select Save as Patch, okay? And then you go into the other Mainstage concerts, and then you click this, and you go Load Patch. You're gonna see a list of all the patches that you have saved, and then you can just recall Great Gig in the Sky into your Animals Mainstage concert, okay? So, like I said, you still have work to do. I did the best I could for the sounds, the best I could for the Mainstage concerts, but you're still gonna have to rearrange sounds, still gonna have to rearrange volumes, and yeah, that's it. I think that's everything that I need to say about Mainstage, okay? Let me know in the comments if you have any additional questions. This is an Analog Lab Pro. These are the sounds. If you're curious about the different tiers of Analog Lab, you can just go to the Arturia website and check it out. Do I recommend buying the entire V collection? Absolutely. Abso-effing-lutely, okay? I love this. I've been using this since 2016. This is Mini V3. Let me just show you Mini V. No, this is Mini V4, I'm sorry. And this is Mini V3. This one is the brand new Mini Moog plugin from Arturia. And the one that is loading is the previous version, which I used for Floyd Keys Deluxe version 1 in 2022. Okay, this is the old version. This is the new version. What else? I've been using V Collection all the way back from 2016. So this is B3 version 2. Let me just show you B3 version 1. This is the previous version of the Hammond organ. I very much enjoyed that we have Leslie here on the left. Version 2 sounds better, obviously. System overload. This is what's going to happen to you if you have just a second, B3. This is the message that you're going to get if you have, let's say, i5 MacBook Air with 8 gigs of RAM, and you try opening a Mainstage concert. You're probably going to get a message like this. So what do? The best thing that you can do to improve the stability of your Mainstage concert, you click Command, comma. Okay, this is preferences. You can just go into Mainstage and then settings, general. Or the shortcut is Command, comma. Okay, then you come into audio, and here you're gonna see your audio output and input. But if you go into advanced settings, here you can see your latency. So right now I'm using 1024 samples, and this gives me a 76 milliseconds round trip latency. This means that it takes 76 milliseconds between the time I press down a key and I hear the sound, okay? Because when I press down a key, I am sending a signal into my keyboard. The keyboard sends the signal through the output, through the MIDI output that comes into my laptop. Then it is processed by the software that is loaded within here. So the signal comes into Mainstage, goes into the specific plugin, then it comes out of the specific plugin on a different cable on the other side of my MacBook, goes into my Focusrite Scarlett, and out of my Focusrite Scarlett, it goes to my headphones. So it takes 76 milliseconds for this to happen. This is pretty self-explanatory. Less latency means that you're going to have a faster action, so it's better to play. You're not going to have lag. But if you bring it right, you're going to have more safety, more stability. Okay? So if you have a fantastic MacBook, if you have 128 gigs of RAM M3, you can just crank it to the left and have no latency. But if you have an older MacBook, then stay somewhere around here, 512, 1024, okay? Okay. So yes, this is Mainstage, this is Floyd Keys Deluxe version 2, this is B3 version 1 that I used back in 2016. I actually enjoyed, I liked it better having the Leslie here. On V2, it's a different interface. But anyway, if you get V Collection, you're gonna get access to all of these instruments here. Okay, you can go inside and continuously fiddle with the sounds. If you don't have the V Collection, you have access to all the presets from Floyd Keys Deluxe V2, but all you can edit is gonna be here. Okay, these are called macros, and most of these are predefined. I didn't do much work here customizing the macros, but if you get the V Collection, then you have total access to go inside of each specific keyboard. So you can just come inside the Prophet 5 here and edit the sounds. Okay, I recommend it. I enjoyed it. And if you get, let's say you want to buy a real mini Moog, you're gonna spend $5,000. Let's say you're gonna buy a Behringer Moog, you're gonna spend, I don't know, $2,000. But you can get all of these instruments in software version for $600, I believe. So yeah, I'm just trying to think if there is anything else I need to address here. How to import the sounds, you already know. How to import the Mainstage concerts. Well, to import the Mainstage concerts, you don't really need to import. All you have to do is double click this and it's gonna open. And then once you open Mainstage back, you can go into File and Open Recent. You're gonna see your available Mainstage concerts, or just go into File and Open and look for the files that you're gonna download, okay? So this is the Dark Side of the Moon Mainstage concert. As of today, September 19th, as I'm recording this, I have already posted 4 videos. The Dark Side, Wish You Were Here, Animals, and The Wall. There are still 2 videos to make, the early years and later years. There is still some work to be done in these, okay? But by launch dates, these videos won't be posted yet. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, for supporting my work. If you like this type of content, if you are a fan of my channel, please consider joining our free school community. There you can connect with like-minded people, share experiences, share resources. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.